Uxbridge is a typical bucolic small Ontario township, originally settled around 1806 by Quakers from Pennsylvania. Their 1820s meeting house is the oldest building in Uxbridge and still in use today. The High Victorian Gothic Public Library, restored in 1985, stands at the centre of town. Next door, an Art Deco movie house still survives. More extraordinary is the Taj Mahal-inspired memorial, clad in copper and bronze and filled with richly coloured mosaics, marble floors and stained glass windows, built in 1936 by former Toronto Mayor Thomas Foster. And the township was once home to the creator of one of Canada's most enduring heroines, but more of that later. Our first stop is at the 1904 train station, remarkable for its witch's hat roof design, a uniquely Victorian touch. Welcome to Escapes with Nigel. I'm Nigel Napier-Andrews, and today we're going to ride the rails on an historic train. Hello, Ron.
Oh, hi. I'm fine. How are you?
Good to see you. This is a wonderful facility here you've got and a great experience. How long has it been going?
Dates from 1904. It's an old Grand Trunk station. And as far as we know, it's the only witch's hat roof station that's still an active railway station.
Right.
Certainly this province.
Right. And I see that they've given you a conductor's hat.
Well, no, strictly it isn't.
Okay.
Strictly, this is a genuine CN hat from the 1960s. And it's actually a steward because you could tell by the colour of the band.
Okay. But today you're the ticket agent.
Today I am the ticket agent,
and
yes.
are you going to give me a ticket so I can ride on the train?
I think I can just about manage that, yeah.
That's too kind of you.
Okay, here we go. There we go.
Thank you. Once we get on the train, what are your duties as a ticket agent?
Strictly speaking, a ticket agent stays in the station. He's more or less the station master.
I see.
But I get on the train, I do some onboard entertainment, I do the announcements, I tell people where things are to look for, and then when I get off at the other end, I'm the ticket agent down there.
And this would be a great outing for a family with kids, I would think they
Absolutely,
would love it.
the kids love it. We in fact have a lower cost ticket for families. But any kids that we get on there, they have a great time.
Well, I think now that I've got my ticket, I'd like to go and see the train. Can we go and see the train now?
Absolutely.
We're here with Denis Godbout, who's the president of the York-Durham Heritage Railway. Denis, you've been really busy this morning. What have you been spending most of the time this morning doing?
We have a circle check to do with each locomotive, so there's a number of steps that we take prior to starting the locomotive, and once it's started, there are the things that we look for and check for.
This looks like a venerable old train. How old is it, and where did you get it from?
This particular locomotive that we're looking at right now is built in 1955. It's an American-built locomotive. It was owned by CN lines down in the States, including Central Vermont, Duluth, Winnipeg Pacific, and some smaller lines. But somewhere in the 1990s, it was bought by a broker, and from there we were able to acquire it, and it was one of the first locomotives that we acquired to the start of our railway.
Now, Denis, I have to ask you this. You are into railroading. Are you a total train fan? How did you come to this?
By accident, really. We happened to be on a tour through Uxbridge, and I saw the station, inquired about volunteering, filled out a form. The rest is history, and that's 14 years ago.
Oh my word, and now you're the president.
President, yes, director of rail
So you get to do everything.
Yeah, you know, it's one of those unique opportunities that you don't see and can't really get involved with in too many locations.
Right. Does this railway serve the community, or does it serve a wider public?
From a tourist attraction, it serves a much wider base. Last year we carried in a neighborhood of 12,600 people, and maybe 2,000 or 3,000 maybe came from the immediate area. People come across from Peterborough, Kingston, Belleville, through Toronto, west to Burlington, points in between.
Where shall we go today?
I like Vancouver. I've always liked going to Vancouver.
Excellent. So how long would it take us to go at 25 miles an hour? A long time.
Bring a lunch, bring a supper.
Well, let's go and get this puppy fired up and take the folks on a train trip, shall we?
That's great. Come on,
Okay,
show you
let's
what
do
we
that.
need to do.
Yeah, thank you.
Nigel, welcome aboard.
Thank you,
But to
Denny.
make it official, you must wear one of my hats.
Oh, fantastic. Look at that. A souvenir hat.
Souvenir hat.
Will it affect my hair, do you think?
You
Maybe.
may have a bit of hat here, but
Okay,
you know,
well,
that's the cost.
we'll try it on if that's what I got to wear to ride on your train, sir.
There
And
we
I'm
go.
happy to do it. So when are we going to go?
We're on the way now.
Excellent.
Conductor Ron, 1310 over.
Yeah, Ron here, over.
Ron, we're ready to go when you are.
We're good to go anytime you are.
1310 underway. One short.
One short.
Yep. And a long one. Keep it going.
Even longer.
That's good.
Well, that should tell them we're coming.
Bell's on because we have another crossing coming up ahead.
Right. We're going to blow it again.
I'll let you know if you want to blow it again.
Yeah, please.
Next thing you'll want to be taking my place, right?
I've only ridden in a train cab once before, and honestly, the thrill never tires. And it really is just like playing with big toys for boys. But it's not just about the boys, because there's a really important lady at the York-Durham Heritage Railway. Let's meet her. So here we are, Rose. Tell me what your jobs are.
I have a paid job and a non-paid job. So my paid job is to do, marketing and advertising, and I work very closely with the board of directors on that. And the non-paid jobs are for the painting that I do. So I've painted the caboose and I've painted the CP baggage car that's parked in the yard that looks fabulous now. It was rust and now it's actually got a coat of paint on it, so that looks good. And so I look after, also the dining car, make sure there's enough supplies in there for the meals each week, and call the caterer on Saturday nights and make sure that he knows how many meals there are he has to prepare for the following Sunday, because we offer lunch every Sunday on the train. And yeah, so that's kind of in a nutshell.
The York-Durham Heritage Railway is a not-for-profit. How do you actually make money to run it all?
It's through the fares, through our ridership fares, and so we've come up with, and what has helped our ridership over the years since I started is we've come up with several new theme days, like Teddy Bear Day, where kids ride for free if they bring a stuffed toy on board. That's a really busy day for us. So having several theme days really increases our ridership, and that helps us, do the maintenance on our locomotives and our coaches, and pay for these coaches, and pay for the fuel, which is, pretty expensive these days.
So today is a special excursion for a couple of groups, but normally people can actually buy an individual ticket and come with their family on the train.
Yeah, they can. All of the tickets are booked online, and at the same time they make their seat reservation, so they know exactly what coach they're going to be in, exactly what seat they're in, and they get their ticket electronically. They can show it on their smartphone, or they can print it out and bring it with them, and we scan it on board.
But you also encourage large groups who want to book the train for a particular tour to do so, and then you run a special train like today.
Exactly, yeah. I contact, that's part of my job, is I contact a lot of the tour companies and retirement homes, and to see if they want to come back, and a group that groups that come every year, especially the seniors. They love the ride on the train.
Apart from your part-time paid administrative job, everybody else is a volunteer.
Everybody you see operating the train today are all volunteers. It's a fabulous group of people that work on this railway and volunteer on the railway, and everyone is really enthusiastic to keep it going and to keep our ridership up and make sure our passengers are happy, and that's what I think is so rewarding at the end of the day, is just for me to come on these charters, because I've talked to these organizers, and then get on the charters and then talk to the passengers and say, how are you enjoying yourself, and if there's anything they'd like, then I want to help it wherever I can.
The fortunes of the Uxbridge Railway has had its ups and downs between its arrival in 1871 and final abandonment in the early 1990s. The dedicated volunteers of the York-Durham Heritage Railway reopened the line south to Stouffville in 1996 and have made it a popular train ride ever since. really rip on these straight pieces, do you?
Well,
You're
for us,
almost 10 miles an hour.
if you want to bring this back towards you, we'll bring it up to the 5th notch.
Okay.
So pull this back a bit. When you see number 5,
Yes.
keep going. There we go.
Oh, fantastic. So that's 5th gear? Or 5th position?
5th, we call it a notch. 5th notch.
5th notch. You get a really good view from here, don't you?
Yeah, it's nice, right?
Now, what I hadn't realized, Denny, is we're actually outside the track. We're
Yes.
hanging over the track.
We are.
I'd not realized that. It's quite a different point of view than sitting in a carriage.
Well, you don't actually get to see the curves or the hills
Right.
and downward slopes that you experience in the cab here.
I just realized when we're going round an outside curve, we can't even see the track anymore, can we?
That's right. And that's why we always have a second person on
I
board.
see, so he's observing on the other side.
Exactly.
Right.
So if you want to bring this notch up to throttle up to the 2nd position, see if it'll work. Lift it up a bit and see if it works. Not? There we go.
Well, I got it up to 2 notch.
Let's go up to 3.
Okay, ready to go to 3. Here we go.
Hold on. Lift it up a bit. There we go.
You can hear it picking up speed, can't you?
Yeah, take it up one more.
One more. Let's go to 4. I think I got the hang of this notch thing anyway.
Absolutely.
Is this the station coming up now?
Yeah, this is the yard. This is the train
Okay.
yard that we're coming into.
Morning. Perfect.
Well, you like perfect, don't you? I mean, another great landing.
It is a great landing. Well, we're a little
to me.
short, but
That's fantastic. Thank you so much.
Nigel.
And you know, I feel I have to give you a hat back because you're the boss. But thank you so much for letting me wear the train hat while I was in your engine. It was an absolute privilege being with you today.
It was really nice having you aboard.
Thank
Hope
you.
you'll come back soon.
I will. After our train ride, we're off to nearby Leaskdale. Here, a modest home and a small church lay claim to one of Canada's favourite authors. The Lucy Maud Montgomery Society has led the restoration of the historic site where the creator of one of Canada's most beloved fictional characters, Anne of Green Gables, wrote 11 of her 22 books. The manse showcases her life between 1910 and 1926 as author, mother, and minister's wife. Melanie Whitfield is president of the Lucy Maud Montgomery Society. Oh, isn't this marvelous? It's just a marvelous
Yeah, it's a lovely
church.
building, still in its original condition.
What is the significance of this wonderful church to Lucy Maud Montgomery?
Well, her husband, Ewan MacDonald, was sent here as a minister in 1910, and at the time the two of them were secretly engaged. And when her grandmother passed away, they got married and had a 6-week honeymoon in the British Isles, and then in October of that year came to Leaskdale.
I notice up here where the altar used to be, there's a sort of stage set or props for a play.
Oh, our play is Maud of Leaskdale, and it's in its 3rd season. I'm very excited about that. We have a wonderful Uxbridge actress who plays Maud, and the words are taken from the original journals of Lucy Maud Montgomery and are entirely based on her life here in Leaskdale.
Outside the church, I noticed there's a lovely garden.
In 2011, we commemorated the 100th anniversary of Lucy Maud Montgomery arriving in Leaskdale. And as part of our commemorative project, we wanted to do a garden, and we have our local artist, Wynne Walters, who is preparing a life-size statue of Maud sitting on a bench, which will take centerpiece. And that statue is actually the first life-size bronze of Maud done in Canada, which is kind of hard to believe, seeing as what an important literary figure she is. in Canada.
And down at the manse, there's another garden, which is actually where Lucy Maud Montgomery's garden used to be.
She led a very busy and stressful life with so many things, and so the garden became the place where she could go to renew herself and to renew her spirit.
And that's why she's going to be sitting on a bench,
That's right.
enjoying
That's
the
exactly
solitude
right.
of her
with
garden.
a book on her lap, because of course we want to relate to her literary importance as well.
Thank you very much, Melanie. Well, let's go and look at the manse.
I'll be pleased to show it to you.
And isn't this nice? I love to see these daisies and things like that.
Yeah.
And the Union Jack, of course, which was
of
the flag
course.
of Canada in those days, I suppose.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right. We're part of the Commonwealth.
Allow me to
right?
hold the door for you. I guess this is her study where all the books were written.
This is the parlor, and it is the place where all her books are written. Every morning she would come here and shut the door and sit in the corner here and write. It was her favorite room in the manse, and it is the place that inspired her to write.
Melanie, what do the displays in the manse tell us about Lucy Maud Montgomery and her story?
Well, Maud was a wife, a minister's wife, a mother, a very famous author when she first arrived here, a homemaker, and a public speaker. And all those things are brought to life here in the manse. Upstairs, there's a room called the trunk room where she kept, obviously, her trunks. So she was at the ready for visits to her publisher in Boston. She made regular trips back home to her beloved island and speaking engagements that she would have all over the place. The maid's room upstairs signifies the fact that she was already independently wealthy when she moved here, so she was able to afford a maid. And so the maid obviously was her right-hand person in this home in her busy, active life.
Lucy Maud Montgomery was here in the middle of the Ontario countryside writing about Prince Edward Island. What was it about the Ontario countryside that informed her stories about PEI?
Well, the rolling hills and the farm countryside were one thing because that was familiar to the area of the island where she came from. And one of the most significant places would be the Leaskdale side road. It is one of the most picturesque roads in the area. And at the end of it, there was a beautiful spot which she called Rainbow Valley, and which she actually used as the title of one of her novels.
Melanie, thank you so much for showing me around the church and the manse today. I really appreciate it, and I hope people come here in droves to look at it too.
And it's been my pleasure. I'm passionate about this place. Thank you very much.
Thank you for joining me today in Uxbridge, Ontario, and on the York-Durham Heritage Railway. For more information, check out their websites, and please visit my website for all sorts of extras about the show. We'll see you next time on Escapes with Nigel.